Now here it says, earlier this year, Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, complained to Business Insider she's been the subject of a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign, claiming she's worth millions of dollars. Quote, maybe try checking my public financial statements, she said, and you will see I barely have thousands.
A few moments later.
The Free Beacon did check Omar's latest disclosure. It shows Omar and her husband, Tim Mynett, are worth at least $6 million. And as much as
the congressional race between Ilhan Omar and Don Samuels got some extra heat this week with accusations of fraud against a business partly owned by Representative Omar's husband.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about your girl, Ilhan Omar. We're going to be talking about something that I think is of or in the public interest, and that is the net worth of our politicians, of our leaders, our Congress people, etc. Now, today a story broke by the Free Beacon, and they are juxtaposing what Ilhan Omar said about her own net worth with the documents that they were able to uncover about her. And it looks like, y'all, she passes herself off as a pauper, a poor person, lower middle class, whatever. But it looks like, according to the Free Beacon, they were able to determine, according to their own investigative methods, that they believe your girl is worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. So we're going to look into that today. We're going to look at her husband. Now, listen, y'all, I respect family, okay? So I'm not going to be bashing her husband. I'm not going to be bashing her family. Try to do this in the most respectful way possible. We're just looking at the people who are involved, okay? So we're not going to be getting off into any criticism of any family today. We're going to be looking, though, at, again, net worth, because Ilhan Omar presents herself as I'm just a poor girl from Somalia. And according to the Free Beacon, she is worth tens of millions of dollars. So let's go ahead and hop into it. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement. Now here it says, earlier this year, Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, complained to Business Insider she's been the subject of a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign, claiming she's worth millions of dollars. Quote, maybe try checking my public financial statements, she said, and you will see I barely have thousands, let alone millions. So here's the Business Insider article. It says Ilhan Omar says she's barely worth thousands, let alone millions, and doesn't own a house or stocks. This is this year, y'all. This is just several months ago, February 12, 2025. Representative Ilhan Omar said she hardly has thousands, let alone millions. She doesn't own stocks or a house and is still repaying her student loans, sparking reactions from ex-users ranging from disbelief to reluctant respect. Now, y'all, this is where it all started. There was this back and forth where Mila Joy said, shocking. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth skyrockets to $83 million. How? Ever wondered how some politicians get rich in office? Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has reportedly turned her $170,000 annual salary into an astonishing $83 million net worth in just 8 years. So then Mila Joy goes through some, I guess we could call it some calculations there. Omar responds to Mila Joy in her characteristic way. She says, dummy. First of all, Omar is one of the only people in Congress that just lead with the word dummy. Dummy. First of all, I haven't been in Congress for 8 years and my net worth isn't 83 million. I know your brain has rotten from the conspiracy theories you are consuming daily, but try not to announce your stupidity to the world. My salary is $174,000 before taxes. I don't have stock or a home and still paying off my student debt, okay? So that's what Omar says. The Free Beacon did check Omar's latest disclosure. It shows Omar and her husband, Tim Mynett, are worth at least $6 million and as much as $30 million, okay? So here it says she's married to a man named Tim Mynett, and together they're worth between $6 and $30 million. So who's Tim Mynett? Now, a lot of y'all think that Ilhan Omar is married to her brother. Ilhan Omar at the moment is married to a guy named Tim Mynett. I didn't know who he was, so I did a little, just searched him up. And this is what I came up with. Ilhan Omar stole my husband. Now, y'all, I'm not trying to get tabloidy, okay? I'm not out here trying to criticize Ilhan Omar or her, or husband or the way that they came together. I just found this article, so just to get a little bit of background on them. So apparently Mynett was previously married, and it looks like they both met when they were both married. Dr. Beth Mynett, so he was married to Dr. Beth Mynett. So he met Representative Omar while he was working for her. And apparently they must have both had some spouses at the time, or they were in relationships, but now they're together and now they're married. So it said the 37-year-old congresswoman and the mom of 3, that's Omar, paid Tim Mynett and his E Street group approximately $233,000 through her campaign since 2018 for fundraising and consulting. Okay, so that was 2018 to 2019. So this article is already about 6 years old. So just in that brief period, they had already paid his company $230,000. It's still a far cry, though, from the $6 to $30 million that they say Ilhan Omar is worth now. Now let's take a look back at the Free Beacon report. Here they provide financial disclosures from Ilhan Omar. And apparently it says here, their wealth is derived almost entirely from the value of Mynett's ownership in his 2 companies that together were worth no more than $51,000 just 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, they were worth $51,000. The exact value of Omar's fortune at the end of 2024 is unclear. Lawmakers disclose the value of their holdings and debts in ranges. Still, the figures in Omar's latest disclosures show that her and her husband's net worth skyrocketed by 3,500% in just 1 year. So it went from 51,000. To several millions in just 1 year, according to disclosures. It's not the first time Mynett's business activities have emerged as a thorn in Omar's side.
The congressional race between Ilhan Omar and Don Samuels got some extra heat this week with accusations of fraud against a business partly owned by Representative Omar's husband. Fox 9's Corin Hogger joins us now in the newsroom after digging into what's behind this legal fight. All right, Corin, what is Omar's connection to these accusations?
Karen, it's nothing directly. Her husband is Tim Mynett, and his consulting firm legally got about $3 million from her 2020 campaign. Now he's a business partner in a few business ventures that are involved in lawsuits claiming his companies have made money disappear. Don Samuels seized on reports of fraud against the husband of Representative Ilhan Omar, his opponent in the race for Congress. At a press conference Thursday, I asked him when a spouse's business ventures should become fair game for political attacks.
When the funds are from family source, especially when the family source of those funds come from the public.
A decade ago, the FBI investigated whether Samuels used his position on Minneapolis City Council to funnel money to his wife's nonprofits.
It was based on no facts. I was running for mayor, and evidently somebody wanted to take me out.
He says the FBI dropped it soon after he gave an interview. In the case of Tim Mynett, whose LinkedIn page shows he was a partner in the E Street Group along with Will Haler, there's no publicly known criminal investigation, but there may be something behind the scenes.
We have connected with federal law enforcement on this. I believe that they're looking into it as we speak.
Ned Horsted is the CEO of a South Dakota cannabis company that gave Haler and Mynett's company $3.5 million to kickstart investments, but ended up with about $1.8 million back and a court judgment, an IOU for the other $1.7 million. Omar's office tells me she has no involvement in any business ventures, and the situation reeks of political desperation. Horsted says he never dealt with Omar and didn't even have direct conversations with Mynett, but he's not convinced they're unaware.
If you have a two-person business and one of them is a spouse of a member of Congress, it seems suspicious, to say the least, that they never knew about $3.5 million that came into the bank account. They never knew that 1.7 went missing.
The lawyers for Mynett and Haler say they absolutely did not intend to defraud anyone in that cannabis business or in a winery deal that's also the subject of a civil lawsuit. Haler referred me to the settlement in the cannabis deal and said the winery business has had some successes, but it's still a struggle. Corn Hawker, Fox 9.
Mynett and Omar were both married to other people when they met, but the pair began an affair. Okay, so y'all, again, this is gossipy, but I'm just reading what it says. But the pair began an affair while Mynett served as a political consultant for Omar's campaign, which paid his firm a whopping $2.9 million during the 2020 election cycle. Mynett exited the political consulting business shortly thereafter, branching out to launch winery and venture capital businesses that have ballooned in value. Now, y'all, there have been some news reports about Ilhan Omar and Mynett as it relates to their financial dealings. I'm going to go ahead and include one right here so you can take a look and try to get a sense of maybe what you think about this. Take a look.
Meanwhile, federal records reveal Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's husband got more than $600,000 in coronavirus relief money for his political consulting firm, on top of the millions that his company received from her election campaign. Charles Payne is host of Making Money on the Fox Business Network. He joins us now. Charles, you'll have to explain this one to me. We'll put it up on the screen. This is the E Street Group receiving in total $634,900 in funds. PPP, $134,000 of that. Disaster loans, $500,000. Why?
The big knock against the whole PPP program was that 1% of the recipients got 25% of the money, and often they were very well connected, very rich people or organizations, and there's no doubt that's true. There was a sort of sense of urgency, though, to get the money out, hoping that if there were flaws, at least it would help the most the ones who were in the most dire need of the cash. And a lot of it did. They're going to have another chance to do it again, and probably be more tailored or more specific. But this just kind of speaks to sort of these insiders who have the ability to take advantage of these sort of things all the time. And then, of course, this particular group of people, it's so bad in the sense that, Sandra, they're always knocking everything, right? They knocked everything that President Trump did. They always knock America. They always talk about how unfair everything is. And here they are feeding at the trough when other people really needed this money more desperately because they knew how to get it, so they did.
That firm was also paid more than $2 million since the start of the year, Charles, from Omar's campaign for digital advertising, fundraising, consulting, website production. She announced last month, I should mention, in November, that her campaign was terminating its contract with that firm because of all the scrutiny that she was receiving over those payments.
Yeah, but no money's going to be returned. I mean, listen, services were delivered, but this is something people were talking about, this cozy relationship, long before November. She had a chance to take care of it then. She did not. It was too much money, millions of dollars. It was too much to ignore. They took it. They'll take a little bit of scrutiny. It won't be a lot. The media will not focus on it. It will go away. But the bottom line is America's distrust in the public, America's distrust in media. This is why both are in free fall.
So, y'all, overall, the picture that Omar is painting is that she's just a broke college girl on her $174,000 per year stipend from being a member of the House of Representatives. Now, we all know that husband and wife, typically, unless there's some kind of prenuptial agreement or something, any kind of money you earn, any valuables you earn, any assets you earn while you're married are typically treated as marital assets. If it's his, it's hers. If it's hers, it's his. That's just the standard way that it works in the United States. So if he's worth $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, and, barring some kind of extraordinary circumstance, I mean, she's worth the same amount, right? So it's certainly not $83 million, but again, according to the Free Beacon, it could be as much as $30 million. So, I think once you get past 20, 25 million on $174,000 salary, of course, he's out there, he's moving, he's shaking, he's doing his thing. But is it really fair for her to represent, I am only worth $174,000 a year while her husband's out banking? Let me know what y'all think. Let me know down in the comments, y'all. Who do you believe? Do you believe Omar, or do you believe the Free Beacon? Or do you think it might be something else altogether? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. But before you do, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. For my people with a retirement, y'all, Omar got her retirement all squared away. But you know what? If her people get into office, her Democrats, they're probably going to come for yours, okay? So if you want to protect it, y'all, go to our link, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. It'll be the first link in the description, people. You don't have to remember that. Just go click that first link. Find out how to protect your retirement from the Ilhan Omars of the world. The Democrats that want to take your money and give it to other people. And talk to my people at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.